Hello and good evening and a very warm welcome to the Love Audio channel. My name is Paul Webber and it's great to have you here this evening. Wherever you are watching this from, please do let us know in the comments, particularly if you are new here. We'd love to say hi to you. The guys that have been around for a little while, make sure you make the newcomers feel very welcome indeed. So without further ado, what is Love Audio all about? Well, Love Audio is hopefully a fun, friendly and entertaining, hopefully informative platform in which to learn the basics of audio production. So if you guys are okay with that, let's crack on with the show. All right, yeah, really good to have you along. Now, let's say hi to some people first of all. Hello to Dan Woodward, who's in the house. Hello to you, Dan. Listening from Swindon area? Do let us know if that's correct. Hopefully it is. Hello to you. Also, hello to Rich Vibes. Rich Vibes is listening from Exeter in Devon. Good to see you on the stream as well, Rich. Hope your 90s stream went well on Sunday. Sorry I couldn't join you. I had lots of things going on and I couldn't get to you on time. But hopefully I can catch the replay if it's still up there on Mixcloud. That's pretty cool. So also hi to Ina. Ina Rees-Hansen is joining us from Denmark. Hello to you. Very good to have you along this evening. Now, today's a little bit different because we're not actually diving into anything specific, unless you want me to, of course. But I thought tonight would be a great opportunity for us to kind of just chat amongst ourselves, really, and find out if there's any issues that you have with regards to audio, whether you've got any issues with your audio, whether it's microphone, whether it's speakers, whether it's, you know, cables, whether it's mixing consoles, whether it's sound cards, anything like that you think, actually, yeah, I do need some, you know, kind of information, if you will, about such and such, then, you know, please drop that into the comments. I'll do my best to answer them as we go along. Now, Dan says, love the new sign, mate. Now, short story. Yeah, this is, the new sign for the Mancave, which I think is great. I just put on a stepladder currently because I haven't got any shelves behind me just yet, but all in good time. But like you see, it's got LEDs around the edge. You can actually turn those on or off. And it looks pretty cool on its own, you know, just like that. So that's pretty cool. Eat, drink, and be lazy, the wording says on there. So that's pretty cool. So I thought I'd have it at the back of us. And just perch it on that ladder. Just like that. So it's consistently in shot, which is brilliant. I've also managed to bring the CD shelves along with me. You know, you remember those from the previous set that they used to be behind me in the studio. Well, now they're in full view to one side, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I hope you like that. We've got some lights in the background as well, pointing up towards the wall. They are a little harsh because they're proper kind of DJ lights. I could tone them down a bit, I suppose, and you know, dial in that that harshness and bring that down. But, you know, for the time being, they look pretty cool. I've got a kind of light blue one on one side, and then I've got the pinkish kind of hue going on this side. And it's pointing up to the flowers and the plants on a shelf behind the TV. But if you look very carefully, it looks like a sideways image of Queen Victoria. Don't you think? Or is it just me? With a little halo on the top there. You see that? Or maybe a crown. It just looks like a bustier of Queen Victoria. Anyway, the shot comes and goes as well, because if I get closer to the camera, that will change. And as you'll see, if I try and do that, for instance, it focuses my dirty fingernails. Oh, actually, no, they're clean. I've just showered. So they're clean fingernails, but it blurs everything else in the background, which is cool. And that's the standard stock lens on the Sony A5100. Yeah, so make sure we've said hello to everyone. Ina says, sitting on the train on my way home from Copenhagen. Wunderbar, Copenhagen. I honestly don't know the words. And I couldn't tell you what they mean. So, yeah, wonderful Copenhagen. Beautiful city. Hope you enjoyed yourself down there, Ina. And you're on your way back to your hometown, which is cool. Yeah, just wanted to point out something else as well. It came through the post. It was posted on the 29th of April 2021 from Australia, and it's arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Let me have a look here, see if I can, if I zoom in, for instance, you should be able to see that. So this is the VMix Fun Time live show t-shirt with their banana logo. Where is it? On that side there. And then you've got Martin, who's the CEO. And then you've got Tim, the guy that does all the videos and stuff. Tim very kindly sent me a T-shirt for sending in a picture of some petrol prices, because they do a petrol price thing every Thursday morning, I think it is, or Thursday morning their time, and whatever time it is where we are, of course. But I managed to submit a picture, and they liked that, and they showed that on the show, and then subsequently they sent me the T-shirt in the post. Also, as a result of just begging for one, really, I kept writing to them and said, by the way, do you do mouse mats? And one day, I think Tim answered the question, yes, we do, but I don't know if we've got any in stock still. So he had a route around, and guess what? vMix to the max. There's the banana doing a bit of surfing, look. How cool is that? So for those who don't know, I use vMix as a platform of choice with regards to my live streaming. So if I pop that onto screen 2, and then I go to my pip, you'll see that this is my vMix setup, okay? In fact, if we go desktop as well, you'll see that completely. It's getting a bit of kind of echo effect with regards to the images, because, of course, it's watching itself ad infinitum, okay? But as you see, this is pretty cool. In fact, if I do that, that's a little better, isn't it? So you can see me in the shot. So, yeah, this is the vMix setup that I use. All the inputs are on this side, and all the audio inputs and audio devices are on this right-hand side at the bottom here, okay? And you've got your master control there, which is up at 100%, 100%, that's 0 dB, of course. And then next to it, you've got the line in, which is what you're hearing me. You're hearing me go through the desk on mix 7 and 8 on the mixing desk. And then that goes to this particular channel. Now, what I've got here, I'm just going to open this up for you. You'll see that I've got a little bit of noise gate enabled. So if I took that off, for instance, it's actually not bad. So, when I used to have fans on and things, with regards to the gigabit switch and stuff like that, you definitely hear that noise coming through whenever you take off the noise gate. But luckily, you don't hear that anymore, so that's really cool. And then I've got things like my countdown timer, my title, which of course comes in and makes a noise. You can see that down there, look. Which is cool. And then you've got the various overlays and things, the images like that. So that, of course, hang on. That's not right. There we are. Okay, so we've got rid of that. So yeah, so that comes in and makes a noise as well, and comes in on there. The subscribe button you'll see before, that goes up there. That's also got noise with it as well, so you need that in the description there. So that's in the audio mixer, of course, because that's making a noise. Anything that's making a noise will appear in your audio mixer unless you've turned it off on the input itself. Okay, so there's various things in there, and I'm sure I won't need to bore you with that. But these are the inputs that I've got on my left-hand side of my vMix setup. So the audio coming in is obviously an input, so you need to create an input there. My FHD capture, that's coming straight off my August capture card with the Sony A5100 plugged into it. Then you've got the countdown, etc. You can shrink these down. So if they're not actually needed, you can shrink them down. So then you've got like a virtual framed no title. So look here, we've got stinger transition. So we go like this. Let's put me in that one. Excuse me. If I put the pip desktop in that one and then go to stinger, you'll see this. Love audio! So again, that makes a noise, but it puts in whatever's in the input section on the left-hand side. It transitions that. Love audio! So you can see that. See what I mean? So it's pretty cool. That's a stinger. And then you've got, overlays, red title. You've got the end credits as well, which of course you'll see at the end. Call to action with regards to t-shirts and websites, jingle of the week. And here's what I wanted to show you tonight as well. So we've got a camera set up for looking at the booth. Now this used to be, don't forget, this used to be like a box room, if you will. So it used to be 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides and a door. So 6-sided thing actually. Um, let's all look here. So Sammy's saying, hello, Paul. Hello to you. What is up, mate? Thank you very much. I love audio. Yeah, good for you, man. Paul Audio. Brilliant. So, yeah, we've got the booth set up here. And it's just two sides. It's not completed yet by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm going to swap microphones. Hang on a second. Really? I am, yeah. It's a good point. Hang on. That's because I've got a dodgy cable at the back there, Sammy. So well spotted. Well done. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You see, there we go. It should be on both channels now. Is that better? You're in mono somehow. Thank you. You see, if it wasn't for you guys, I would be, coming in mono. That's not good. It's a loose connection on the back of the mixer. Sammy says it's better. Thank you very much, Sammy. Brilliant. So I'm going to... off on well over there. That's going well. So stay there a second. And I muted the desk mic. Why you can't hear me well. Okay. Put that there. If I go around here, the back of the desk now acts as my voiceover booth. Okay. So this is the microphone that I'm now using in the booth, and I've swapped them around. So I'm not using the Marshall microphone on the desk anymore. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. I'm not using the Marshall microphone in the studio, all right, or in the booth. I'm now using the Icon C14 microphone. I'm just going to put my headphones on so I can hear what's going on. So, so if I'm talking into this microphone now, you can hear, excuse me, you can hear the quality of this one coming through the desk. And it's actually, this particular one is going into, let me think about this if I've got this right. Yeah, this is going directly into the desk. So all of the processing is taken care of with the Presonus Studio Live 32SC. Whereas before, on the desk mic, which used to be the booth mic, that was being controlled through the Behringer audiophile, what's it called? Valve preamp. Okay, so this is now my voiceover thing. So you can hear that even with just two sides of this and this padded thing behind the microphone here and the microphone muff, you're not getting too much of that room noise that you used to get when I first arrived here. There was a lot of room noise, and now you can hardly hear any room noise at all. So, and bearing in mind, I am literally 20 meters from the high street, and you can't hear a thing, can you? No, there's traffic going by all the time, pretty much. Up till about 11 o'clock at night, people screaming and shouting outside my bedroom window, trust me, keeping me awake and that kind of thing. So, this particular setup I'm really pleased with. I am going to get a lid for this properly, so I'm going to put a lid on it, like a corner lid. So it won't be a full 4-sided or 6-sided thing, because the carpet is perfectly adequate. It's really thick carpet, so I don't need a floor on it as such anymore. I've got the two sides of the booth. I'm going to put a lid across there as a triangle going across with maybe a couple of downlighters in, tidy up all the woodwork around the edge and make it look really smart. And then I've got my booth back, whereas prior to this, of course, it was just, it was a proper 6-sided thing with a door on it and everything else, which I could shut myself away in and that kind of thing. But, now I've got this kind of temporary fixture, but actually it sounds okay. And it's nice and clear and clean and crisp, and you're not getting too many of those plosives coming through as well on the microphone, because I've got a decent microphone muff on there as well. I've got the sponge thing behind here, and I've got the two sides of the booth acting as more kind of sound dampening in this room. It's not soundproofing, it's sound dampening, okay? And that's what we're looking for when we're looking for stopping those reflections. When you talk into a room, you're going to get those reflections off of hard surfaces. I'm going to come back to behind the desk, so stay with me a second. Back over here. Oh, who's passed? Because there's not a lot of room there, to be fair. And then we're back to so that's great. All gets better every time. That's pretty sweet. Very much. Make sure I've got the right microphone. Don't. What have I just done? Have I faded it down? There we go. Okay, hear me now. You better hear me now. Down, that's fine. 8, perfect. Now the desk. There we go. Okay, that's better. Turn the booth mic off because we don't want it to cancel each other out. And then I can put the booth mic on mute as well because I don't need that. And then we're all good to go. Okay, thank you very much indeed. So yeah, Sammy, thank you very much indeed for that comment. That's really nice of you. Thank you. So the audio is sounding much better than it was when I first arrived here, and that's purely because I've taken the time to make sure that this space that I'm in, and bearing in mind that this is the lounge, okay, and I'm in kind of an L shape of the lounge behind the camera, and that's where the booth is currently. So yeah, it's really good. I'm really pleased with it. Let's have a look here. Ina's giving it a thumbs up. Thank you very much indeed, Ina. Brilliant. Sammy says it is sounding better now. Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad you really like that. If you have any comments, by the way, about your own setup, see, that's an example. There's a really big motorbike just revved up outside. Can you hear that? No, not at all. Because the gate is working hard on the desk, and the gate, the noise gate on vMix is also working really, really hard. So, you're not getting that that noise coming from the road, which is pretty cool. But I'm loving my vMix t-shirt, which is pretty cool. And like I say, they also sent me this mouse mat, which is brilliant because I was just using a placemat to to do stuff with. But they very kindly sent that at the same time as the t-shirt, which is brilliant. And yeah, I'm going to write to them on email and thank them very much for sending that through, which is cool. Is that Tim on the t-shirt? Yeah, it is. So Tim is where are we? Yeah, so Tim is here. Let me just zoom in again, Sammy. Hang on. So yeah, if I move my microphone slightly, Tim's there. Then you've got Martin in the middle, and then you've got the banana. I can't remember the banana's name. Can you remember the banana's name? There we are, like that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna take some snapshots and send them that as well, so they know that I'm using the gear that they've sent me, which is pretty cool. Let's go back to that shot there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with how things have set up. Because I've got as I say, I've got some lighting going on here as well, which is pretty cool. I noticed these shelves getting quite dark because the sun's going down now. I mean, it's 8:20, and luckily, for the first time in weeks, we've got some blue sky outside because it's been horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Sammy says, how did you get the t-shirt and the mouse pad? I got the t-shirt by submitting a picture of the fuel prices in my local area. Whilst I was out doing a delivery round, I took a photo on my phone of the petrol prices in my area, and I sent them in because they feature that every Thursday on their stream, or every Friday, whatever it is, Friday morning. So they feature petrol prices from their petrol prices cam that they've got at their premises, which looks right over onto a petrol forecourt. So yeah, they as a result of that, they gave me a t-shirt, which is brilliant. And I just begged, steal, and borrowed the mouse mat because they weren't sure if they had any in stock. And Tim very kindly dug one out for me and sent it across, which is pretty cool. So it arrived today. As I say, it was posted on the 24th of April. And what are we on now? The 24th of May. So pretty much a month, 4 weeks. 4 weeks time it took to get here. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I like that. How did you get the t-shirt and mouse pad? Yeah, it's a nice story, isn't it? And they're really nice guys, and I've written to them. In fact, I did write an email today to them and said, look, thank you so much for the merchandise. It's really good. And 4 weeks of vMix, 4 weeks of travel from Australia to the UK, and bearing in mind we're at opposite ends of the Earth, so it takes a long time to get here. Whether it was sent by snail mail or via boat or via plane or whatever it might have been, I don't know, but it got here safely. It was in a nice package. The package was not damaged in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, really, I'm really glad that it arrived. Bruce Cameron also got a T-shirt as well, I believe. So yeah, I was quite jealous of him because he got his first, and I said, "Oh, mine's not arrived yet. Mine's not arrived yet. When's it arriving?" So it arrived. That's brilliant. And by the way, you know, we have T-shirts for Love Audio. So if you want to tell everybody that you love audio, then get yourself over to Teespring. They're now called Spring.com, by the way. And you'll find my store at Love Audio's merch store. Just do a search for that and you'll find it. It comes up and you'll recognize my mixing desk on that particular slide that you can see there now next to me. You'll recognize my mixing desk. So that will let you know that you're on the right channel, okay? And there's mugs on there as well, different colors I've now launched as well. So have a look at that. All reasonably priced. And yeah, we'll have to send those out to you as and when you order them, which is pretty cool. If you want to check out the website for any more information about what I do, of course, in the grand scheme of things, then get yourself over to loveaudio.co.uk. And Sammy is right. So yes, that is the old studio. You're absolutely right. And it's kind of pointless taking a snapshot of the new one until it's completed. Now, once that's done, of course, then I can then make it look really good and then change that out as a picture. But I think the picture works really well anyway. It just shows a different background to what we're used to. But it's kind of the same setup. It's the same mixer. It's the same monitors. It's the same microphone pretty much. Apart from, like I say, I've swapped it out from the C14 that you can see in that shot. Sorry, this one. Hang on. Love Audio! Yeah, I've swapped it out from what you can see here. So that's the C14 that you can see in that shot there. Whereas the one I'm using now, this one here, is the Marshall MXL 2001. Sammy says, your new studio is hip. I like your new studio. That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Sammy. That's really kind of you to say so. Thank you. And I think it makes it hip because we've, like I say, we've enhanced it by putting the Mancave sign here, and that kind of makes it a bit more trendy, doesn't it? I guess. I'm going to be getting more plants in here because I think it needs more kind of greenery, but it needs to be closer to me, if you will. I've got the sofa just here, and you shouldn't see that. That's my ironing pile. I went live doing ironing last night, but it was a complete disaster, so I scrapped the video and took it down. But there may well be, so I can get through that lot, there may well be a midweek ironing stream, and I've yet to set up the new studio. Planting with Paul. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm not particularly good at plants. I mean, there's one back there which has survived, which is brilliant. And there's one over there which has survived, which is great. But I'm not excellent at keeping plants. So, yeah. I need a green iMac, says Rich Vibes. I don't think I do because I don't have to swap everything out for software. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, that's not happening. Just because you're looking at Macs nowadays instead of the good old PC, you won't swap me from a PC. I'm not changing from a PC. Green iMac for green plants. Sammy and Rich ganging up on me saying, yes, he does, Rich Vibes. No, he doesn't. It works perfectly fine on a PC. Right? So... Oh dear God! Right, so this is interesting. I've got a message come up. Right, I'll show you. In fact, if I go to my my pip, look, I've got a message here. It says suggestion: the stream's current bitrate is 11017.08 kilobits per second, higher than the recommended bitrate. Is it coming out at your end? Sammy says it's an LSP joke. Ah, well, there we go. That makes sense to everybody else apart from those that don't watch it. Where is the new channel? Sammy, the new channel is coming soon. Once I've got settled and everything, then, I'm going to be launching that as a separate channel, the Iron Man channel, or, whatever I decide to call it. It'll be live from the Man Cave, but it'll be an ironing channel. So it'll be Iron Man, which is fine. But it's going to be cool. So here. Making sure I've caught up on all the comments. If you have anything else, of course, tech-wise that you want answering? And none of you have come up with any questions yet with regards to tech or any of your own sound issues. But I hope my little kind of background behind-the-scenes tour of what I've got currently is helpful for you. I'm really pleased with the setup now. I'm really pleased with the sound that this is creating, which is great. Like I say, I have swapped the microphones around, so I'm going to try it anyway, and see what the feedback is from clients that I do voiceovers for, just to see if they can kind of notice it and stuff like that. I mean, Peter, who produces the stuff for V2, says it sounds really good. So and he's pretty switched on as a producer, so he'll know. He'll notice the change, but he'll know it's fine. I did one recently. I had so much compression on the software that the client rejected it. Can you believe that? Shock horror. I know. First time in ages. He said, "Can you send me one that's not got any processing on it, and I'll do the processing at this end." Wow. So it was fine because all I did was turn off the processing during the playback, simple as that. So it was the same audio that I was speaking into the microphone, but I just dialed out the sound effects. The compression was on. It was way too high. And so it was really useful to hear from a producer's standpoint that he wanted it as natural, and as raw as possible, without all of that kind of fancy compression going on. So I've dialed a lot of that back, so now you hear the natural voice. I've got a little bit of processing on the desk with regards to the aux channels 7 and 8, so you can hear a bit more top end than you normally did. So hopefully that's working. But certainly, as regards what I send clients, I've really dialed back that kind of compression side of things. So it's more natural, but I've given it more volume, so they've got a bit more to play with, if you will, at their end, which is cool. Sound-wise is fine. I think next thing to focus on is camera. Yeah, you're right, Rich. The camera is pretty good, though, and I just need to make sure the lighting is right. It's got an autofocus thing going on, as you can probably see. So, the further away I get, it gets a bit darker. The closer I get, because I've got lights on me from the top, I've got no ring lights on, by the way, which I normally do, and I've got these other ones as well. So if it gets dark later on, I can then bring that in as well, which is cool. And that gives me a little bit more kind of light on this side of my face, because I've got natural light coming in from this side until I get the blinds up, which will be in about 4 weeks' time. So that's that. I could put this ring light on here. So that's that. It gives me a little bit more. That's not a bad look, actually, to be fair. But I have turned it down. It was extremely bright. So if I do that, that's really harsh. And that's kind of washing me out a bit. So I dialed it down, and it's actually quite harsh on my eyes. So I kind of press the negative button there and just turn it down slightly. So it gives you a little bit more kind of images, kind of brighter, if you will, face on, but it's not as harsh in my eyes as I was experiencing before. Sammy says, "Wow, that's the tattoo I've got, Sammy." Rich Vibes says, "Suggestions for cameras." Well, I'm not a camera expert, so I'm not going to suggest anything. I'm going to keep with the same camera, Rich, which is the Sony A5100. They've actually discontinued that now, so they've gone up to the 6100, the 6400, and beyond. Sammy's your man. Sammy, you can chime in with what you think is a good camera. But certainly, I'm going to stick with the Sony A5100. I'm going to buy the different lens. This is the stock lens with it, and it's not a bad lens, to be fair. Let me just pull that up a bit, and I'm going to use the zoom on here. So when I zoom in, the quality is really good. It's really clear. As you can see, it's still blurring the background, but it's still focusing. You see how sharp that is? This thing here is made of flock, and it's overprinted then, right? So look how sharp that is, and that's literally. You see what I mean? It's made of kind of like a spongy material. You can actually see the detail in that, even when it's back here, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of hollow like that. And you see how thick that is? That's what gives you the protection against those pops that you can hear. Well, I've taken the shield off now, so when Peter Piper picked a piece of pickled pepper, you can hear the pops coming through on the microphone, can't you? Like that. So, but when that's over it like that, Peter Piper picked a piece of pickled pepper, you can hardly hear those pops. But, zooming that in is nice. It's got a good shot. Obviously, you can't see any of the background. So then I zoom out to about there, and you can see the man cave thing like that. And that's pretty much, that's right back. So that's the furthest away zoom-wise. And I'm on an f5.6. Yeah, it's varying. So it's going between 5 and 5.6, 6.3, depending on where I'm sat, of course. But don't forget, it's on autofocus. And I've got a 1/60, whatever that means. I have no clue what that means as regards camera settings. And I've got an ISO of 1600. I'm sure that's way too high. But, I have to compensate for the fact that I'm not blasting it with loads of light and that kind of thing. When I do, you really notice that difference, and it's really kind of harsh and bright and stuff. But I kind of like the setup. I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds now, as I said before. And, I'm really looking forward to doing a lot more live streaming, but also recorded video as well. And just a quick update, by the way, you may have seen a video recently where I posted, I was looking at some retail space in the town that I've now moved to. Well, I've since looked at a couple more venues, and I have not put an offer in, let me say, because it's going to be leased. But I've suggested that I lease one of these 2 units, and it's a fantastic space, and I can't wait to show you around it. But that won't be complete until the end of June. So yeah, looking forward to that. So this whole setup, and it sounds ridiculous because I've just got it sorted, but this whole setup will be moving 20 yards down the street to the new place, which is going to be a retail outlet as well, but also it's going to be the studio, and it'll be there as a live studio and a pre-recorded studio for guests and things like that. And it's also going to be a temporary studio for the new community radio station, which launches in July. And they're going to use that as a satellite hub to do interviews with, that kind of thing. So they'll bring somebody in that needs interviewing. They'll sit them down and do it like a one-on-one kind of thing, which is pretty cool. And I'll help kind of engineer that and sort it out for them as well, which is good. And then they'll have a signal sent to their current studio, which is a little further down the street. So, yeah, it's all pretty good, pretty exciting stuff. So watch this space. Another chapter begins. And yeah, so, really looking forward to what's coming and what's on the way. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated as to everything that's going on as and when it happens. All right. So, yeah, that's about it for tonight. No jingle of the week because I haven't had chance today to load up a fresh one. But what we can do is play the jingles. I know you love the jingle. It's the jingle of the week. Love audio. That was a remix of a jingle that I did, and it was an a cappella. But I've mixed it with the backing music that you hear. One of the styles of music that that Jam Creative Productions are really good at is country music. And interestingly, I today had a phone call from a client that wants me to do a 40th birthday party for her, right? Which is great, and it's all booked and everything. It's fantastic. It's coming up in, I think it's August. I'm pretty sure it's August. And it's going to be in a marquee. It's going to be in like an outdoor marquee thing. And it's going to be country themed. So not entirely country music the whole night, but country themed. And I thought, well, that'd be an interesting one to play you guys, play you a jingle package that features country style. Okay, so yeah, Jam Creative Productions is my jingle company of choice, as you know. And they've done an awful lot of country packages over the years for various stations, okay? And I want to play you one that's, I'm going to start with like a package of jingles that you can hear. So I've got one, two, three, four, five, six country packages to choose from. I'm going to play you Country Proud, which they did for a station called KFKF. I'm not sure where they're located, but we'll probably hear that in the jingle package. But here we go. So these are country music jingles as produced by Jam Creative Productions. Enjoy. Does help if you press the button, right? Yeah. Here we go. This is for you.
What's going on? What's going on here is called Pride, and it's a good thing. Hi, I'm Dale Carter, Program Director at Country 94.1 KFKF. We're proud of the music we play. We're proud of our city, and we're very proud of our country. That's what our programming is all about, and it's important for our on-air imaging to reflect the way we feel. So we return to Jam Creative Productions for our jingles, because Jam really is the best at creating musical identification that works. I know you don't have time for a long speech, so just listen to the package and notice the full instrumentation and contemporary country sound of the live music tracks, the enthusiasm in the vocals, and the versatility of every cut. It makes us proud to have this package on the air, so we call it Country Proud. And you can find out more about it by calling Jam, 214-388-5454. I'm proud to say that Jam is our #1 choice for jingles, and you can hear why. Country 94.1 KFKF.
Country Proud from Jam, Cut 1.
Today's best country and all-time favorites. Country 94.1 KFKF.
2. Kick off your music sweeps over this 25-second bet. If you don't need that much time to talk, you can end the bet at any time with a separate tag ending.
Country 94.1 KFKF.
There is also a faster version of the tag which works by itself as a quick logo. It's Cut 3.
Country 94.1 KFKF.
Hang on, mute. Oh dear God, yeah, that's because I didn't want to interrupt the jingles, so I muted myself. It's really daft. Anyway, so that was produced by Jam Creative Productions. Thanks to John and Mary Lynn Wolford, and their brilliant continuity of the jingle industry, which is fantastic over there in Dallas and Texas. And I can't wait to order mine. And you've heard that because I did that for you last week and sang the lyrics for it over the top, which is horrendous. But they'll do a far better job of it, and I'll have lots of different mix downs and things like that of that particular jingle. So I'm looking forward to getting that. That'll be in a few months' time. But in the meantime, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Really enjoyed it. As I say, it wasn't a particularly focused on anything specific, like a tutorial or whatever it might be, or an unboxing like it has been recently. But, hope you enjoyed the hangout. Hope you enjoyed chatting and hanging out with me today and looking at the background scenes of the new booth and everything. And yeah, there's more to come, of course, every Monday night at 8 p.m. BST, British Summertime. That, of course, is 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 noon Pacific. And 9 p.m. Denmark and South Africa. And probably something ridiculous in the morning on a Tuesday for those in Australia. You work it out, won't you? Thanks again, guys, and have yourselves a safe week. Take care.